No more dilly-dally. It's time for Sharp Calls. Simon.
And we'll go in order. This was a week of a lot of back and forth. I'm the opposite side of a lot of pros here. The boys like the Saints against the Rams tonight, and I just can't get there. But I get their reasoning. They think the Saints defense isn't as bad as they've looked, and I think they've just played bad offenses, and they've been able to have a very easy schedule. So we'll find out who is right tonight. I think the public is right betting the Rams. But I woke up, I mean, what, an hour ago, and I just checked. Yeah, Evan just put in our chat 84% of the tickets on the Rams, but the number at two of the most public books right now has moved from 4 down to 3.5. So pretty interesting. The fact that the money is coming in from the professionals on the Saints team.
I don't mind being on the Rams side at all here. And I would say, you did a favorites film room YouTube exclusive on Kyron Williams. We posted this yesterday. I did Christian McCaffrey. You did Kyron Williams. I thought your breakdown was perfect. I think he can have a dominant game. I think the Rams run away with this.
Yeah, my only fear is it's just like when I tell people you're on the opposite side of me. You might be right, but you've gone from a 50% chance no matter what to below 40%. And that's what you're doing here if you're taking the Rams. So you might win tonight, but I'm telling you long term, this is statistically a loser just because I know the guys were on the other side. So I just wanted to bring it up real quick just because I thought it was interesting where it's like I didn't think we talked much about it. I thought the Rams were the play, and it's just interesting there are actual professional groups now coming in on the Saints. Pittsburgh, we'll keep it moving though. Not much to say there. Everyone knows the pros are going to be on Pittsburgh. It's just the play.
Yeah.
Um, Split on the Chargers Buffalo. There's people like us who like the Chargers at that big number. There's other guys that I've talked to. They're just like, what are you betting on the Chargers? Like, what you don't even know what you're getting from Stick. The defense is banged up, kind of giving up. It's just a bad team. So totally get why they don't want it. I'm happy we can't put that in our contest either.
Yeah,
Like
me too.
three
Because we would
games,
have to. And
kinda.
everything about it makes me sick. I haven't bet it yet because I'm sort of just waiting. I'm counting on the public coming in on Saturday and pounding this thing, but
Yeah.
it's terrible.
I did talk to the group that I believe were the ones that hammered the Falcons news. And basically my view is they got info early about Heineke and they hammered it. And I don't think they realized it was going to move as much as it moved. And even the guy I was talking to was like, I mean, the Colts probably have good value now. And I agreed with him, but this is one I think me and you, we'll just stay away from, right? It's just moved too much in either direction.
I don't know. I was going to make a case for it. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
I still feel pretty good about the Falcons here.
I like Atlanta too. I just don't know what to do with it because it's moved so much. A game me and you loved, Tennessee. Uh, I do think it is going to be Tannehill, which does make me feel a little better just because we always talk about those kind of spots of the veteran guy who's given up on.
Yeah.
He's had 2 months now watching someone else play that, I mean, people want to die, but it actually is good for you to watch someone else because you kind of notice little things that you could do differently or better. We're getting that right with Tannehill. Like they're begging for Tennessee money. So a couple of the guys I talked to, they're just waiting and they're hoping to get the three. Once Geno Smith gets fully cleared, they think you'll get the three. I disagreed. I've been taking the 2.5 because I do think it'll go down as soon as he gets cleared. I think people think it's going to bounce up, and I just don't. I think the professionals will come in on the Tennessee Titans. But we'll see. Geno still hasn't been cleared. Um, we already talked about Panthers. We'll break it down again. It's a game I'm like uncomfortable now that I've made my Simon Says, but I talked to a couple guys who like it too. But unfortunately, talked to some guys on the other side of it. So that's another split game between the professionals where I thought it was gonna be all pros on the Panthers. Some guys feel like they got really lucky betting the Panthers last week, and this Green Bay team got really unlucky against the Bucks. And this is a nice spot for this Green Bay team. And I just disagree. I disagree with that opinion. So we'll go into that one more. I'll fire these off just because I know this is taking a while. Arizona, again, we didn't really talk about much. That's the pros like I think it was 5 or 4.5.
Yeah. Let's skip that one because I put it into the script
Okay.
to talk about as adding because you did talk about it a little bit on Tuesday. But if we know the
Yeah.
wise guys like it, then that's just more fodder for the conversation.
Yeah, I thought it was too big of a number, so it makes sense. A game me and Chad were split on. I knew the pros would be on the Ravens. It's just a spot the pros are going to take the Ravens. No surprise. The public
Well,
is
that's
going
the
to.
game that I've been wavering on, even though I made it my exact decision. You're
Yeah.
nervous about your Simon Says. I'm nervous about my exact decision. I have reasons why. It's one of the reasons why I'm calling this the therapy session. Because I have a lot of reasons why I ended up on the Niners that 48 hours later, I'm like, I made an emotional decision.
Yeah, maybe. So it wasn't shocking though hearing that the pros like the Ravens. What is shocking, this number's held. Couple 5.5s out there. I'm seeing one or two books show 4.5. So I guess some pro money's hit it, but my hope was this was going to get to 6. I should have known better. It was never going to get there. Just the pros weren't going to let it. I thought this would be a more split game. It's really not. It's just going to be public all over the 49ers, and what the pros think is what I think. It's like you're getting one or two free points here. You just take the Ravens and live with the results. So not shocking. And there's a bunch of games that are just split. I mean, like we're not gonna dive too much into it, but yeah, the pros like the Giants, but it's not like a 6-figure bet.
No,
Most of the guys I talk to are just throwing a little taste on the Giants. That's what I'm happy that me and you really had no opinion on. I kind of want to stay away from it.
stay away.
Um, a game we talked about a little bit, Denver Broncos. You know, they think it's too high, but once again, it's not like it's a big bet for people. It's just opinion where it's like, I'll be on New England. I wanted to be on Denver, honestly, because they're at home and it's supposed to be a snowy game. Because I trust Russ in that position rather than Zappy. But now that it is supposed to be 100% guarantee a snow game, I'll probably just stay away from it. It's a game where I already wanted to be on the under. I think it's dropped. Evan maybe could put in the chat, but I'm almost positive it's dropped since the news came out that the weather. But me and Chad weren't really in love with this one anyway. But we'll probably just end up staying away from it now that it is supposed to be, like Evan just put in the chat, it's supposed to be really cold with snow, but no real wind. So nothing too crazy there.